Hello, everyone. You artisans of thread and color,
everyone kind.
try to imagine.
You
You are the
artisans
very
of
first
thread
tailor in
and
human
color.
history. Before you lies an entire world, animal hides, coarse, raw fibers. But everything is just a dreary tapestry with countless shades of brown, of gray. You yearn to convey a story, assert an identity, or simply to brighten the dark corner where you live. You crave a fiery red, a deep, profound blue, a sunny yellow. Then one day your eyes fall upon the flickering fire in the cave, the puddle of water filled with ash, strange rocks and a pile of decaying bark. A burning, almost insane question suddenly flashes. Could the secret to the eternal colors I desire be hidden right inside these lifeless and chaotic things? How do you transform that chaos into order? How do you capture the color of nature and lock it into every single fiber? This is not a story about magic. This is a story about the moment humanity performed one of its greatest miracles, the invention of dye. My friends, we, who hold thousands of colored fabrics in our hands, do we ever stop to ask ourselves, what did our ancestors wear before there was dye? Imagine a world without fiery red, without ocean blue, without royal purple. Clothing back then was merely a tool for covering the body and keeping warm. But humans never accept monotony. They crave to express status, belief, and personality. They used mud, charcoal, and chalk to paint on their skin and on animal hides.
A cloth
But what
falls
was the
into
greatest
boiling
challenge?
beans.
A rain shower could wash it all away. The pain of the primitive craftsman was the helplessness against nature, the dream of an immortal color on the fabric. And then, a chance discovery changed everything. It didn't come from a sorcerer or a deity, but from a meal. Try to guess, where did our ancestors learn to dye? Perhaps they saw a piece of cloth fall into a pot of boiling beets, and it was tinted a pale pink. Or they saw rocks around the fire, containing minerals, change the water's color. They began to experiment. Tree bark, leaves, berries. They boiled them and dipped the fibers. But tragedy struck again. The color was magnificent when first dipped, but after just a few washes in the stream or exposure to the sun, it faded into a lifeless shade. They almost gave up. They thought perhaps eternal color was an impossibility. And here is the surprise detail, the plot twist of history. In a moment of disappointment, perhaps a primitive person accidentally left the dyed fabric in a puddle of water with ash from the fire, which contains potassium, or fermented animal urine, which contains ammonia. Or maybe they used a copper pot to boil the dye, and the color suddenly became miraculously vibrant and permanent. That magic, my friends, is called a mordant. This was the genius invention of the primitive chemist. The mordant acts as a chemical bridge, bonding the dye molecules to the fabric fibers, helping them never wash away. According to the Harvard Museum of Archaeology and Ethnology, archaeological evidence at sites like Geisenklosterla, Germany, has revealed tools for grinding ochre and mineral fragments with traces stuck to animal hides, dating back over 40,000 years. This proves the use of primitive paint started very early. And the leap to fabric dyeing with mordants was the next revolution. So from the fire in a cave, they invented an entire field of chemistry. They didn't just create color, they created symbolism, Tyrian purple. To obtain 1 gram of Tyrian purple dye from the salivary gland of the murex snail, the ancient Phoenicians had to use 10,000 snails, according to the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. It was so expensive that only Roman nobility dared to use it, turning it into the ultimate symbol of power. Indigo. The complex indigo dyeing technique was perfected by the ancient Egyptians and spread throughout the world, becoming one of the most durable and captivating colors in history. They did it. From random experiments, they wrote the first chapter of the history of fashion that we are inheriting. Every thread you pass through the needle, every piece of fabric you cut and sew, carries the bloodstream of those primitive inventors. So there you have it, the story of how color stuck to fabric from being a distant dream became a reality thanks to curiosity, persistence, and unexpected accidents. It's not magic, but science written by our own ancestors. But there is one extremely interesting detail I haven't had a chance to share today. It's the secret to the most disgusting color in history. A dye made from insects that was once as expensive as gold, even causing bloody trade wars. If you want to uncover that shocking and horrifying story, please hit subscribe and the notification bell, because our next video will be Blood Red and History's Most Expensive Bugs. See you on the next journey of discovery. Thank you, everyone, who is continuing the endless creative legacy of human ancestors.